Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Atlanta Startup Village, the Southeast's largest monthly recurring startup event. Please find your seats. Atlanta, please welcome to the stage your startup Sherpa, the hostess with the mostest, your friend and mine at 5'3", Ali Merritt.
Oh, you cut off too soon. That was going really well. Well, obviously, we are starting some new things tonight. Welcome to Atlanta Startup Village. Thank you, David Lightburn, for that fantastic introduction. Can we get a round of applause for his announcer voice? So we thought we'd add some pizzazz. Obviously, we got like standing room only, too, so that's fantastic. We have pizzazz and a big crowd tonight. We're going to do a couple of different things differently. If you guys have been seeing this fantastic Twitter wall here, that means if you tweet, you show up on there. And at the end of the night, we actually have two fantastic sponsor packages that we are going to hand out. And in between, we are going to hand out swag, like this fantastic shirt from ATV. So, one, be active on Twitter, and two, in between, I expect you to be really loud when I'm throwing swag to you here in just a second. So, to kick us off, as D-Light said, we are the largest monthly meetup of entrepreneurs in the Southeast. Right now, the meetup group is at 11,000 strong. So give yourself a round of applause for being part of that group. You are supporters of some really cool things you're going to see tonight. So, first up, who wants this fantastic shirt? Oh, wait, no, we had some loud people over here. I was going to throw it, but one, I'm short, and two, it's not really throwable. Nicely done. All right. So there will be more swag in between every presenter, and we're going to shift things up a little bit tonight. We're going to have our sponsors, then we're going to have our fantastic volunteers who helped you guys all get your amazing name tags. Also, pay attention to the name tags. Do you need something? Are you looking for something? Put it on your name tag. Start kicking conversations off with people. So, who has a beer here tonight? Who is excited about the fact that you have free beer? Good beer. Good free beer. I say this because there's not like kegs of Natty back there. All right. Because of this, you have these fantastic sponsors to thank for it. So let's have Turner up first. Turner, come on down. You have to get all the way up on the stage.
Man, you guys, am I going to trip? Nope. You want to over-under? All right. I made it, you guys! I'm Meg Houlihan. I'm with Turner. I'm the technology and community catalyst there. And we just supplied you guys some beer. We want to hear some pitches. We want to hear some ideas. But mostly, we believe in you guys. And that's what we want your takeaway to be. So, shortest pitch ever, right? Really, I'm done. I'm done. We believe in you. That's it.
So much. And back as a repeat sponsor, Digital Crafts. Come on down. I feel like we should all be like, high five. Oh, good.
There we go. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Liz Carley. I'm the operations manager for Digital Crafts. Thank you for enjoying our beer tonight. So we are a coding boot camp. In fact, we are the only coding boot camp headquartered here in Atlanta. We have our offices and classrooms right upstairs here at ATV, and we've been around for a little over 3 years now. We provide full-time and part-time coding boot camps, so depending on your needs, you can keep your day job and still learn the ins and outs of technology. One big mission of ours this year has been accessibility, so I actually have two exciting announcements for y'all. The first one is that women in vets automatically get a scholarship to attend our program, no application necessary. Yep, get those women in vets in tech. The other thing is that we have launched a new initiative and a new approach to tuition, so that is an ISA or an income share agreement. So basically, you do not have to pay for your tuition until you get a job after our program. So on that note, I'm going to pass the mic over to my counterpart, Chris, and he's going to talk to us about our B2B offerings.
Good evening. How is everybody?
We were handshake.
Okay. We were supposed to do a high five. I missed. So thank everybody for coming out. We enjoyed handing out beers. Specifically, I'm the VP of Corporate Services within Digital Crafts, which is pretty exciting because it's a brand new line of business for us. We have built a very, very strong employer network of individuals that hire all of our students. We are the #1 rated coding boot camp in Atlanta and Houston, so our employer network is pretty tremendous. Out of that kind of relationship status, they've also begun to come to us and ask for specific custom corporate training as well as recruiting. So it kind of helps support the students as well as training. So if anybody needs to hire their next developer or even do custom training, I'll be hanging out at the beer stand.
All right. Very first of our presenters tonight. I apologize. Because we shifted everything up, the volunteers now get to pitch at the beginning while y'all are still paying attention and haven't had a lot of beer. So, volunteers, come on down to the front here, please. Can we get a round of applause for these lovely people? All right, I'm going to hand you a mic. You get be there.
All right. You're tall. You're going to get Oh. All right, so how many of you all have pets? Yeah. What about those that experience anxiety when going to the vet? Maybe. All right. Well, if so, I have a solution for you. My name is Dr. Euphrates Anderson. I have a mobile veterinary hospital here in Atlanta, Georgia. We visit pet supply stores where your pets enjoy their favorite dog treats or cat treats. And we also go to boarding facilities and also provide home visits. So if you have any concerns about your pet, please consider Ask the Vet. You can visit our website at askthevetatl.com or see myself or one of my team members for a business card. And it was nice meeting you all.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rachel Raisin. I'm the Executive Director of TEDx Georgia Tech. We are an entirely student-run TEDx event, and we recently obtained a new license, which allows us to have an event with over 100 attendees. So with this exciting growth in our organization, we also have room to grow within our Atlanta community. So if any of you are interested in being involved with TEDx Georgia Tech, coming to our events, sponsoring us, or even applying to be a speaker, I would love to talk to you afterwards. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see you all here tonight. You all look awesome. You all smile for me, so that's pretty awesome. I'm a business coach, and I'm working towards building my coaching practice. So if anyone needs services in that area, I'll be the guy to talk to. And if I cannot help you, I take it upon myself to find someone who can. So I want to be able to bring coaching and life together. So if you need any help, just let me know. Thank you.
Okay, so step 1, society collapses. Step 2, the world becomes a harsh, desolate wasteland. Step 3, a bunch of people wearing BDSM clothes start driving around eating people. Right? Okay, so like pretty much every end of the world movie goes like this, right? So I got to thinking, what if people used mesh networks? They used the blockchain, they used 3D printing, and they decided to rebuild their world. So I'm directing my own end of the world movie in this manner. It's called Salvage Mission 9. It's being produced right here in Georgia. It's a post-apocalyptic farm punk techno thriller. If you want, find me after this. I'm Stephen DeLorme. I've got a gray hat. You can find my buddy Ben. He's got a gray hat too. Find us afterwards. We'll enter you into a raffle so that you could potentially win free tickets to the Atlanta premiere of our film, Salvage Mission 9, next year. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, volunteers. It was like speed pitching. I like it a lot. All right. So now we are going to give it up for Christian, who's been patiently waiting through me talking, through the sponsors talking, through Rebels talking. Oh, also, say hi to PulseSpark in the back, who is live streaming this for you. Nobody turned around and wave. Everybody wave at PulseSpark. See, this is a promo video for you, PulseSpark. They donate their time and their expertise every single Startup Village and then put this recording up later, which is really cool of them. So thank you. All right, Christian, are you ready to go?
I think I'm ready.
All right, give a round of applause to Christian with Johnny on it.
Good evening. My name is Christian Reese, and I'm the founder and CEO of Johnny on It. This is my business partner and our co-founder, Chris Coakley. Let me ask you a question. What do 1.6 million realtors and 6 million new homeowners have in common. They all hate that last mile on closing on that home. You see, realtors hate that last mile. It's usually accompanied with a punch list of anywhere from 10 to 20 items, and on average, 20% of those items get left on the shoulders of the realtor. So, down to the wire, they've got to suddenly find themselves in the home service space. With 48 hours to go, they've got to find a plumber, find an electrician. Who do I trust? Who can recommend me? Are they licensed? Are they insured? Spending anywhere from 4 to 10 hours trying to get that closed. This is the pain of the last mile. Johnny On It has changed the game. We connect realtors and homeowners to the service industry in real time. Let me tell you a story about Christian Ross. She's a realtor with Village Realty, and as recently as last Monday, she experienced the pain of the last mile. She had a closing. She was representing a client out of Colorado, and they had a condo that she was listing in Midtown. Come Friday, a few days before that, she needed a few items on her punch list. She needed to find a plumber suddenly to install 2 new toilets and 5 other things on the punch list. Who wants to see how Johnny On It was able to help her? All right, cool. Let's do this. So this is a live demo. All right, give it 1 second. Hold this right here. Give it 1 second. Customer support. There you go. We can do this. There you go. Technology works. Awesome. All right, let's see how our technology works. So she went on, and it was Friday at 8:45 in the morning. She needed a plumber. So she booked a job. She selected plumber. And remember, the closing was at 3 o'clock on Monday, so she needed the plumber immediately. She pressed immediate, entered the street address for the condo that she was selling, and pressed next. From there, she selected the problem, added a few items on the punch list, and pressed next. She had a default credit card and requested service. Let me introduce you to another member of this story called Daniel from Progressive Plumbing. You see, like most service professionals, they only get paid once they work. And Daniel had accepted the job, called Christian within minutes, and organized for the key to be left at concierge. Christian was notified when she was on the way, when Daniel had arrived. And once he had arrived, he looked at the items on the punch list that was entered in through the app, and she sent him a quote. I wish it was $1. Christian went about her day, and Daniel started the job with before and after pictures after the job got completed. Let me fast forward to the review that she left on Monday afternoon after closing. It was a seamless experience. I was able to forward the receipt to the closing attorney with before and after pictures, and we closed on time. You see, Johnny On It helped alleviate the pain of the last mile. We believe home service projects should be seamless, transparent, and secure. And I'm happy to say that we're not a concept anymore, we're a business. We're live in the App Store as well as, thanks. We're live in the App Store as well as the Google Play Store. We've got transactions running through the app. We are partnering, I'm so proud of this, we're partnering with Village Realty in the coming weeks, and we're launching the Village Realty Home Service app powered by Johnny On It. That's going to be 132 realtors utilizing our technology and helping them alleviate the pain of the last mile. We've got 150 technicians being onboarded onto the platform in the coming weeks, and our goal is 6 white-labeled brokerages by December 31st, in addition to completing 1,000 transactions. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Yes, sir. Why are we white labeling? Good question. So the question is, why are we white labeling? It's, for us, there's a couple reasons. If you think about a brokerage, they've got a preferred vendor list. Now, a preferred vendor list is a recommended list of providers that they're able to hand over to their clients. One of the ways that we're doing it is through realtors, and we're actually saving the pain point to the brokerages. They can now electronically take that preferred vendor list and hand it over to their clients.
Another reason that we're white labeling is that the customer acquisition cost in the realtor market is really high. You buy and sell a house every 4 to 5 years. So also customer acquisition in the service industry is very high. And the reason why is because you use a plumber 1 or 2 times a year. So by distributing our product through the brokerage channel, it's a very low-cost way for us to distribute the product. It also benefits the realtor or the brokerage house in that they have that last-minute reminder on the consumer's phone that it's Keller Williams and that's helping them out. So every 4 to 5 years when they go to sell, it's another reminder marketing, drip marketing for them.
Who eats the cost of the fee?
Sure. So it's a percentage model. So unlike some of the other technologies out there where the service provider has to pay a monthly subscription fee, we're a percentage model. The percentage differs based on the number of uses that the service provider has. So the more users they have on the platform, the lower the percentage gets. The higher the value of the transaction, the lower the percentage it gets. We're trying to cover our minimum costs with the spread, but we're not trying to take away the pricing on the transaction for the service provider.
Yes, sir. So the question is, how are we getting our providers onto the platform? Is that correct? So we are, part of the value proposition of utilizing us as a business source is the fact that those shops or those plumbers, electricians pay anywhere between 6 and 22% in marketing costs or lead generation costs. With us, it's free. And the reason why is because we don't provide leads, we provide business. So let's say Katie over here puts a request through the job, or we'll use Christian as a live example. Daniel from Progressive Plumbing didn't pay anything to be on the platform. He didn't pay for that lead. He just so happened to be in the right spot at the right time based on our geolocation that's built in the app. So they see that as a major value proposition. Yes, sir.
I saw you had an example of $29. Is that part of what you're income?
Yes, so typically speaking, when somebody, the question was, there's a call-out fee on the example in our live demo. It was $29. That's the typical call-out fee. The call-out fee changes depending on the service provider. So an HVAC professional will charge a little bit more, a plumber a little bit less. So we don't dictate that price. They actually do. For that example, it was $29 that he charged to come out. Yes, sir.
What happens if the customer doesn't like the quote?
You want to take it?
Sure. So they have the opportunity to reject the quote. Oh, excuse me. The question is, what happens if the customer doesn't like the quote? So the customer has the opportunity to reject the quote one time, so the provider can re-enter a quote. And after that, if the customer rejects the quote on the second occurrence, the transaction is considered canceled, and only the service fee is charged. The service fee actually applies to the price of the job, presuming there is a job.
Yes, sir, in the back. What happens if the customer did not like the service? That's a good question. We are, first of all our service professionals are background checked, licensed, and vetted. And so we only want the best plumbers or the best service professionals on the platform. If they do not like the service, then Johnny on it steps in. We try and dispute that as well. And we also licensed and insured to make sure that the customer is taken care of in that situation. Yes.
You mentioned reviews at the end. So are these reviews done in your site or are they in your app? Or are they done on like Google reviews
All right, so the question was, how do reviews work on the platform? You want to take it?
Yeah, so reviews are submitted at the end of the job. And in future functionality, that will be displayed when you have a provider arriving. So, sorry, that sounds like our bell. Oh. So does that answer the question? Yeah.
Thank you. You guys have been amazing.
All right. So, in my continuing swag list here, and second by, we need you up on the stage, please. Second by, there you are. All right. So while second by is getting set up, I have some fantastic ATV socks.
Swag, swag. Get your swag!
We maybe shouldn't give D-Light beer before this. Yes!
Throw that swag, Ellie!
All right, louder! Come on!
Who wants that swag?
Yeah.
Give me that swag!
All right, going down the center. Oh! That was almost a fight. We will try this again after the next presenter round. All right? Slight technical difficulties. Sorry, team. We are getting this switched over. As much as I love the Twitter fall, which, by the way, you guys do tweet, because again, I have 2 fantastic swag bags for the end of the night. They're going to be based on people with the most interactions and the person who writes the most high value tweet, which means you didn't just write, great pitch. You actually wrote something about the thing the person pitched about that actually makes sense. All right, are you up and ready to go? So, our second presenter for the night, second by. That was really sad. Let's do this again. Our second presenter for the night, second by. Woo!
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. All right, well, my name is Jabril Suleiman. I am the founder of Second By. Some of you may recognize me from working on a startup that I've been building for the past year called Spend With. That startup focused on connecting consumers with culture-connected businesses. With Second By, we're connecting thrifters with local thrift stores. I have to not move the mic. All right, so what is Second By? Second By is a platform that organizes the social media feeds of different thrift stores, consignment shops, pawn shops, and all, into an easily browsable feed that allows consumers to find different products and services, or different products locally from those thrift and consignment shops. So there are some great companies out there already, B2C companies that have raised a lot of money, gained a lot of traction in the secondhand goods and resale space. Undoubtedly, some of you may have used some of these startups already to purchase different secondhand products from and found some great deals. Now, the innovation behind what's going on in the resale market right now is fueling a billion-dollar market. A $20 billion market currently right now will be a $40 billion market in 6 years because of the disruption that's happening right now within the secondhand market and resale space. Now, specifically in the apparel industry, the apparel resale space, there's a 24 times growth right now versus just regular retail apparel. So those are some great figures that are happening right now with these B2C companies. But what are they not doing? Well, first of all, they're not allowing the retailers to participate in the gain that occurs in this industry right now, the local retailers. Why? Because they're not connecting local consumers, those thrifters, with the retail shops that also offer secondhand goods and products. Now, if I was a car dealer or if I was trying to buy a used car, great, there are plenty of platforms that are out there, marketplaces and so forth. There are plenty of startups that assist me if I was a used car dealer in getting online, retailing my products and so forth, but not for the 58,000 thrift and consignment stores that are out there or the 11,000 pawn shops that retail used goods. Well, see, that's where Second Buy comes in. We capture the content that's posted to social media, to the Facebook and Instagram pages of these thrift stores, consignment shops, and so forth, and we present it in a browsable and soon-to-be searchable format to thrifters. As simple as that. They don't have to, the retail stores don't have to use any other POS systems or some secondary or third app. They're just using their social media to upload content, and we're presenting it, of course, to the thrifters. Our goal with Second Buy is to be the Cars.com or Dealer.com for the 69,000 secondhand retailers out there in the market. What's our business model? Well, it's to offer enhanced services to the retailers through B2B subscriptions. Also to, in the future, facilitate online transactions between the consumer and these retail stores as well. Our go-to-market strategy includes, of course, reaching out to these and boarding the online retailers, and also advertising to the thrifters so they'd be aware of the platform. So those great companies that I mentioned earlier, they're all in the B2C space. None of them are in the B2B space right now currently. And so what we're looking to do, we don't see them as competitors. We see them as actually M&A partners. We've launched the platform just a month ago. We've already boarded 400 shops in 6 different cities. And we have a lot of AWS credits to push things along with our server. Just a little bit about me. I'm a previous startup founder. My first tech company was number 44, the Inc. 5000 list. I graduated General Assembly, the Ascend 2020 program, founded GEM, New Me Accelerator, and I'm part of the ATDC Accelerate program as well. Our ask right now, we're looking for that contact that's going to work with us to lead on a $150,000 pre-seed round. And that's my presentation for Second Buy. Any questions? Thank you. Yes.
What stops someone if they see something on your site from just calling the actual store and cutting you out of the business?
Initially, we want them to. Okay, yes. What's going to stop them from just cutting us out the business right now, cutting us from being in the middle? So currently, right now, we want to onboard, and through critical mass, we want to onboard as many retailers as possible. We want them to use the platform. We want them to connect directly back to the Facebook pages as well. But who's going to look through, and we've already talked to customers out there, you know, they find that one shop that they like, but there are more deals out there, so they're going to keep returning back to the platform. Eventually, we're going to put in some additional mechanisms in place that will facilitate those online transactions. But right now, we just want to dump as much traffic to the retail stores as possible so they can understand the value proposition in having a platform or a marketplace like this. Yes, sir.
So who's responsible for selecting what content is uploaded to the site? Is that somebody who works for Second Buy, or is that the retailer that's deciding what's uploaded?
Yeah, currently right now the retailer is, repeat the question. So who's responsible for the content that's being added to the site right now? The retailers are. We're pulling in their social media feeds and so forth. We're adding in some nice little things like machine learning and things like that that's going to be able to identify the actual images that are posted, because some of them right now may be more ad-related, and they may not actually display the product and so forth. So we're building in some technologies that's going to be able to filter those posts out in real time. In the back. We're pre-revenue right now. Have we generated any revenue yet? I'm not going to remember that. Have we generated any revenue yet? That's the question. No, we have not yet. We're pre-revenue. Right now, we're just building as many and adding in, onboarding as many retailers into the platform as possible. With $100,000 in AWS credits, you know, I'm a coder myself, and I have access to other coders as well. So right now, we're not necessarily worried about generating revenue just yet. Let's build traffic to the site. Behind you, sir. Sure. So how does the customer get the product is the question. So right now, we're doing different social media campaigns to thrifters. We're targeting that thrifter customer base, especially local thrifters. And then as we onboard retailers as well, then a lot of the retail stores as well are promoting the platform within their stores and to their customer bases also. Yes, sir. There's plenty of demand because, oh, I'm sorry. Do you see any demand for online thrift stores? For specifically thrifting online and not buying, but more so the customer offering, I don't understand the question there. Oh, well, yes, and that's okay. No, do I see any demand for thrifting online specifically? And yes, those companies that I put up originally, they've raised lots of money because of the fact that people are buying thrift or secondhand or gently used items online. And so now what we're doing, though, from a B2B standpoint is empowering the retailers with a platform that is going to allow them to facilitate possible transactions more smoothly and allow thrifters to find those products that are in the local thrift stores. Yes, sir.
So with companies like Grailed and Go, they specifically focus on upmarket products, so like your Yeezys or whatever it is. Right?
Yeah, upscale, yeah, luxury goods.
So with the local thrift stores, it's a little bit difficult to do that because those products are just everything in the world, right? It's just a random t-shirt. So how do you like reconcile that? Like how do you get to the point where you're either doing upmarket products or just every product that exists?
How do we reconcile, how do we determine whether we're going to deal with just upscale products, luxury products, or everything? Right now, we're allowing everything to be loaded onto the platform. Generally, in most cases, the stores, they want to highlight the more upscale products. So they want their nicest things to be. They're not going to take pictures and load that stuff to social media. They want the nice things that's going to attract them. So that's what they're doing. Thank you very much for your time.
Swag! Keep that swag. Throw that swag,
right
Ellie.
here in the front.
Who wants the swag?
Oh, grab it. Let's be present win. Don't more.
More swag.
More. Cheers, come on.
Everybody says more swag.
We definitely shouldn't give D-Light. No. All right. Up next, we are going to have our third presenter for the night. Hilton, can you switch me over on channels? Yeah. All right, we're working out the technical difficulties here. Hilton is now a jack of all trades. She is doing all the things back there. Can we get a round of applause for Hilton for managing like 17 screens back there? Because she's doing a fantastic job. And the music. This is all Hilton. All right, our third presenter for the night. Round of applause for Piggyback.
How's everyone doing?
We can do better than that. Come on, come on, come on.
All right, I'm Neemish Patel, and I'm one of the co-founders of Piggyback. Now, here's the thing. If you're anything like me, you value your time very much. However, again, if you're anything like me, I end up spending and wasting a lot of time on daily routines, such as what do I wear, make sure I don't wear the same thing I wore yesterday, what do I listen to on the way to work, and more importantly, or most arguably, the biggest thing we waste our time on a regular basis is where to eat or drink next. Now, let's face it, we all eat out a lot. Some of us on multiple times a day, some of us multiple times a week, whether that be lunch, dinner, snacks in between, knowing where to get coffee, knowing where to grab drinks after work, we're doing that constantly. And when we do that, we want to make sure where we go eat or drink is a good spot. So again, because we're all creatures of habit, we end up going back to the same places that we know and that we trust. And if we are trying to be adventurous and go somewhere new, we would preferably like to get recommendations from the people that we actually know because we take their word to heart. And then the other challenge is, all right, well, even remembering the places I like is tough, right? There's a lot of places I go out to eat or drink. I'm always remembering, all right, lunch, what's around me again? What do I like? What did I like this for? Was it great for, Italian, pasta, salad, so forth? So this is where Piggyback comes in. Piggyback is a B2C tool that is a collection of your great places. It's a way that you can track and organize and tag the places that you love to eat or drink at, as well as it's a way that you can start discovering recommendations from the people that you decide to follow, follow and put into your trusted network. Now, I would keep talking, but let's just do a live demo here. And bear with me for a second. All right, let's see if this pulls up here. Perfect. All right. So I'm going to show you some of the key features here. So what you're seeing is what we call our add a recommendation screen. This is where when a user is going to create a recommendation, because whether they're at the restaurant itself, just finished, or at home and remembered, oh yeah, I forgot to, I like this place, let me remember it. When I pull it up, it's going to automatically give you a list of places that are nearby. I can scroll through. I can even search for a venue by just typing in the search bar, and we're leveraging Google for that. And I can say, hey, I just maybe went to South City Kitchen in Buckhead. I can click on the recommend or the add to wish list. Let's say this was a place I've been wanting to try. In this case, I'll click on recommend. Now, two things you may notice here. A user could simply just click on rec it, right? We want to make sure this process is simple and easy. If they don't need to fill in additional information, they shouldn't have to. So I can just click on rec it and be done with it. Second thing is you notice there's no star rating. So we are only focusing on positive recommendations. We notice that, hey, when I'm trying to remember the places I like to eat at, I don't really care that much for the ones that I don't like to eat at. As well as when friends ask me, I'm not telling them, don't go here, I'm telling them where to go. So this is positive recommendations only. Now, if you want to, you can add in more notes. So you can say, or add in your comments, hey, 150 character max, right? We're not trying to get you to build an essay like there is on Yelp and put in all these, reviews of all the specific things. This is a short summary of what you liked about it. You can also add photos, and you can create tags. So down here, these are the tags that you'll hear me refer to. I can tag it for, hey, what type of meal type was this great for? Lunch, dinner, was it takeout, delivery? I can also say, what is occasions that it was great for? Maybe a date night, maybe just a casual setting with friends. And then as well as what other attributes. Hey, they have great ambiance. This is a rooftop, outdoor seating. The benefit of tagging this is, again, later, when you're going back, and let's just say, I go ahead and rec it. So we'll rec South City Kitchen. This is all stored in your backpack. It's a little hard to do with one hand on the mic. All right. And the backpack is your collection of all the places that you said you've liked. So in there, you'll see the rec list. Now you see South City Kitchen right there that I just recommended. And now as a user, when you're looking for a spot to eat and you're wanting to just say, hey, what did I like in this area? I can go to my backpack, and now I can either scroll through the list, or I can filter and search through, hey, I'm looking for maybe a, great weather this week so far, maybe an outdoor seating spot, and let me find a restaurant that's great for that. We also have the wish list, which is, again, your collection of places that you've been wanting to try. And as well as what we call a rec request, which is, hey, you know what, I'm going to maybe a new city, and I know a couple of my friends that are living there. Let me go and create a recommendation request where I can ask them for a place to eat, and they can respond in the app. Now, on the Discover side, we can also search for places. So this is where, hey, I'm looking for something new. I want to search amongst not only my collection, but maybe the friends I decided to follow their collection as well. So I'll wrap up the demo with that, which was I was done anyways. And last, all right, we'll jump to questions. Sorry. Oh, you guys can't see this. All right, we'll jump to questions. Yes. The question is, do the users have to add friends in the app or do they import them? If you log in through Facebook, which we have an option for, you'll get all your Facebook friends, and you can then kind of follow them there. So it's not, and this is where it's more like the Instagram model where you follow people and people follow you. So you can choose that. There's no way to just import a direct list of friends. It's either through your contact list, your phone book, Facebook, or you can, send a text and invite someone that way. Yes. Yep, so the question is, how do we make money? So right now, this is a non-revenue generating app. It is a free app from a B2C standpoint. Our long-term goal is obviously to have a revenue stream. That will be in twofold. One is, once there's enough data users, having businesses buy their profile. Businesses have more incentive to do that in this app because they're only focusing on the people they know that like them. Now they can target and market to those people and send them promotions, send them whatever material. And then, of course, advertising. Yes. Yep. Correct. So the question is, longtime Foursquare user, how do we differentiate? And that's a valid question. So a few ways. So Foursquare, great tool from, starting off, check-in, I've been here. They're not as robust on being able to create your own tags and personally identify and categorize it, as well as we haven't seen really that shift into that social kind of networking aspect, right? I mean, how many people are on Foursquare sharing recs with friends and using it more as that tool versus more of just a check-in, I've been here and I'm searching for a spot. Foursquare is great about giving recommendations, but it's just based on their data, not users that I trust data. Yep. Sure. Yeah, so the comment was on the nightlife. Maybe is it more tags around dancing? So we do have. So we have a tag around nightlife. We have some around live music as well as just a live band. But that's kind of where we're looking for user engagement. Hey, what are some of the other things people are typically searching for? But completely agree. I think there's definitely lots of areas we can probably continue to improve upon in terms of the tags. Guy with that first, and then. Yeah. Yeah, so what motivated me to do this? So my other co-founder, actually, I'm going to tell his story, although he should be telling. He was taking a trip with his wife to Sonoma, and they were looking for recommendations, right? And they were, spending hours on Google, Yelp. And long story short, they remembered a friend that lived there. That friend spent an hour putting an email together of, here's everything you should do. And that kind of sparked the idea of, when it's your friends, and hopefully most of you are like this, you're willing to kind of take the time out to create recommendations and give them that. And there's no proper tool to do that today, right? Everything's kind of notes or emails and so forth. So this was kind of an idea that sparked from that and then grew into, eventually we want this to be a recommendation app for anything. Shouldn't have to be only restaurants and bars. Yep. So the question, and I might have you maybe clarify this is correct. People love, or do you want to ever kind of integrate with Facebook or other feeds to get recommendations? Is that it, where people are creating? Yeah, so it's definitely a good idea. The struggle we see with Facebook and Instagram, right, is photos with comments. There's no tie necessarily sometimes. Well, Instagram, you can tie it to the restaurant. And that would be a good way to integrate. But sometimes Facebook is more string and text-based. Now, if there was kind of a universal way, we'd love to take it. But right now, it's relying on our data or our content. Thank you very much. Number 2.
You did it. All right. Can we give a round of applause? I did not have to ask him to repeat the question one time. Congratulations. Nicely done. That is only the second person in a year and a half that has managed to do that. All right, guys. I have another pair of socks. Swag.
Swag.
Okay.
What is the chicken cross the road?
Sort of sadly doing it over here. There's yelling. I see some people in the back. All right.
Knock, knock, who's there?
What you get, I'm sorry. I'm going to apologize ahead of time for my throwing capabilities. Don't worry, there's more next time. We still have 2 fantastic bags at the end of the night for people who are putting the most value add tweet. I've got a couple in contingent right now. And the people who have the most interactions on their tweet. Karen, yours doesn't count. You work here. But everybody else is doing really well. We've got a couple coming down the line. So we are on to our very last team of the night. So let's give an actual warm welcome. Every time I say this, there's like 4 people who clap. Everybody clap for Compass.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Keith Wilson. I am the founder and CTO of Compass Events. This is my CTO, Howard Vining, and we are your citywide event guide. So who likes going to events, right? Festivals, concerts, happy hours, bars, Atlanta startup villages, right? We love going to events naturally, but here's the problem. Finding things to do can be a pain. I mean, even in a city like Atlanta, where there's so much going on, finding cool events can still be a problem. And it's mainly because of the fact that some of us just aren't plugged in, or there's just way too much craziness going on for us to really find some kind of credible events. So if that's a problem, what should the solution look like? Well, it should be more of a community source type of platform, right? Something that's by the people, of the people, right? And a platform that allows those that are in the know to share that information with others through some type of event mapping and hyper-local group messaging. And that's how we develop Compass. We are a platform that allows users to share, discover, and explore events in their favorite cities. And we've been called the Waze and GroupMe of events due to our combination of event mapping and also hyper-local group messaging. So how does it work? It's pretty simple. In Compass, you can go in and add events to the map, right? So very similar to Waze. When you're adding things to a map, you can add events to a map. And then those events basically go onto our heat map. And so we leverage heat map technology to give you a bird's eye view of the parts of the city or the events that are hot or not. So the more people that check in and engage in those events, the more that particular event will heat up on our heat map. And so like I said, we give you a bird's eye view of the parts of the city that are hot or not, right? And then when you're engaged in those events, you can post pictures, comments, messages, and earn points towards badges eventually. So when you think about kind of the opportunity out there, we're in a unique space because we're serving 2 distinct markets. We're serving the event market, right? And we're also serving the tourist market. Those are the people that will probably benefit from a product like this the most. So when you think about the event market, it's booming right now. I mean, there were over 3 million global events last year just on Eventbrite alone. And they're churning out tickets week over week with about 3 million tickets. And when you look at the travel market, it's booming as well. I mean, in the U.S. last year, there were almost 500 million people that visited the top 10 most traveled cities. So that's a lot of people going to places they're not familiar with, looking for things to do. So, as I mentioned, we're in a unique space because we don't have any kind of direct competition when you talk about event group messaging. When it comes to us, we definitely think we have the upper hand versus those such as Eventbrite and also Facebook due to our heat map technology, right? Also, the fact that we're in more of an all-inclusive solution. So not only do we tell you about the events that are going on, we also allow you to see the level of engagement that is going on at those events, message with people that are at those events, and we also have integrated Uber and Lyft to get you to those events. So we're an all-in-one inclusive solution when it comes to event discovery and event engagement. So how do we make money, right? We're not just going to give this thing away free forever. So we're a free model to download and use right now, but eventually we will leverage advertising, also lead manager. So we're capturing some of the back-end user data and user experience metrics. We're going to monetize that. Also ticketing. If we're in the event space, right, we should allow you to purchase tickets through our platform. And then also event-based purchases, which will basically make us more of that all-inclusive solution to event discovery, event ticketing, and event mapping. So we launched in January of this year, right? Woo woo, right? We are available in both the App Store and the Google Play Store. And since then, we've seen significant growth month over month. We've had over 1,400 downloads. We've got a database of over 80,000 events. Per appbrain.com, we're a top 100 events app. And we've been featured in a few media publications such as Urban Geeks, Rolling Out, The Dana Barrett Show, and a few more. So when it comes to our team, I'm very proud of our team. As I mentioned, my name is Keith. I'm the CEO. We've got Howard, who's our CTO. Also, we have Calvin, my brother Nate, and Martin. So as I mentioned, Calvin and Howard handle all of the technical and development stuff. They're the brains. We're the beauty, right? And so when you look at those brands below, those brands represent the collective experience that our team brings to this solution. Those are companies we've either worked for, companies we've worked with, or companies we've started ourselves. So we have the people in place. Right now, we are serious about this problem. So we're trying to raise a seed round of 1.5 million bucks, right? We're not playing. And we're going to use that to develop our platform more, get more customers through acquisition, and launch more of an omni-channel Super Bowl campaign at the top of next year. With that, we're Compass. Any questions? My man. Yeah, so the question is, through our heat map technology, are we leveraging real-time data, or is it more historical data that can give you an idea of how that event was in the past? The answer to that is real-time. So we want you to know if you're looking for that event or you're looking for something to do right at that moment, what's the intensity, what's the level of engagement in that particular event. And we do that by the number of people that check into that event. My man in the back. Yes, so the question was that we do events, but do we do conferences such as DragonCon? We consider DragonCon a major event, so we definitely would like to integrate that into our platform, and if you know somebody at DragonCon, tell them to holler at me. Ma'am. Yep, so the question is, what is our go-to-market strategy right now? How are we getting people engaged? So we're leveraging a lot of social, right, to get the word out. We're also leveraging Google AdWords to really kind of do more of a hyper-local type of customer acquisition. We're not trying to spread it out too wide. We've had some successful small pilots with the McDonald's Corporation, also for their basketball event they had here in Atlanta not too long ago. And also we're trying to leverage partnerships with travel organizations and also the airport, if we can. Mm-hmm. Question in the back. So the question is, are we local or have we launched in other cities? So we are pulling events in every city you can imagine, major cities, not necessarily smaller cities. So we're all over the place. During the royal wedding, we had so much activity going on with events, it was crazy. I felt like I was there in the wedding myself. Next question, in the back. Yes. Right, so the question is, if the market is asking for those types of features, what's stopping Eventbrite from including some of those features in their platform? And the question really is nothing, but they found a particular niche that they're familiar with and that they do really, really well. They're somewhat in the event discovery platform, but when you think about Eventbrite, your experience typically starts with buying a ticket and it ends with validating that ticket at the particular venue that you're going to. They have a very comfortable model. They're churning out tickets, and we don't see them going too deeper in the events, in the social side of events. Question. So the other $1.1 million, that was a question, what we do with that. Basically, we'll leverage that, to include more integrations that we can for more platform functionality. Depending on how the marketing budget will be, we'll kind of leverage it that way. But we also we know that one of the biggest problems with startups is that they fail because they don't have enough money. So we want to make sure we ask for enough to get enough that we can have to leverage should more things arise. Question. If I have a contact that has access to a major sporting event, how can that play into what you're doing? The question is sporting events. How can our platform play in the sporting events? So that would be a great idea for how we can integrate our platform. So think about the sporting events and all of the people that are sporting events. They don't have a platform to communicate on right now. So we can include or enhance that fan experience by giving everybody in that particular venue a platform to message and talk to on. Will do. Next question, my man. Yeah, so the question was with in-app purchases or event ticketing, and you can feel free to chime in here, Howard, if you want to. How would we plan to monetize that?
Certainly. So we also have affiliations with a lot of the event hubs that are out there right now, like Ticketmaster and Eventbrite. Eventbrite actually added the feature to be an affiliate for a lot of the events that they have hosting. So we're on their affiliates partners list. So every ticket that's sold through the platform, we get a piece of that.
Yeah, and we're currently not doing that now. Yes.
This is a problem for a lot of startups. We're just interested in knowing how do you protect users' data? And what is your data privacy measures to stay compliant as these issues happen with Facebook and all the other things happening across our country?
Right, very good question. So the question was around privacy, user privacy. How will we protect that data? So the data we're looking to leverage when it comes to monetizing. Is it okay if I finish this one? Yeah, this is a really important question. So the data we plan on using or leverage to monetize it is more so just general demographic data. We're not giving out email addresses. We're not giving out names. We're not giving out anything other than just general demographic data, such as male, age range of 25 to 35, African American, has been going to types of party events or political events. That's the general information that we're looking to leverage that we want to try to monetize. Everything else we do is pretty much held lock and key. All right, thank you.
All right.
What you trying to do?
D-Light, you're supposed to say swag.
Swag!
Thank you.
What's that swag?
He is not wrong, but this round of swag is picked off of Twitter. Must be present to win. So, the most interacted with tweet for the night, I'm going to say this name wrong, but I'm going to try. Alex Lavage, where are you? Where are you? Where are you, Alex? There you are! Yeah! Nicely done. Alex actually has a video on here with 106 views, so y'all got to get on it. All right. And then the most valuable tweet for tonight. Y'all, this was hard. There are a couple of really good ones, but I'm going to have to give it to William Balance because his tweet says, drain clogged, tree fall on your roof, neighbor paintball your house after you beat him in basketball, download Johnny on it and have a service provider there ASAP. Nicely done. Next time we're going to do a dance party up here. All right, we only have 4 presenters for tonight because somebody sadly backed out at the last minute. So that means that is your show for tonight. Thank you all for coming out. One more round of applause for our fantastic presenters.